Hey everybody, it's Mike. I'm here with Ingrid, one of our coaches, actually, our peer leaders, and leads some of our meetings. And a bit of an anomaly, I would think, in our groups in general. But I'm going to let her tell the story. Ingrid is a ultra marathoner, and I'll let her tell about the weight part. But physically, she can do anything with her body, obviously. Ultra is like, correct me if I'm wrong, you were like 100+ miles or some crazy thing. But anyway, Ingrid, how are you? Tell the folks about your experience and about you in general.
Sure. Yeah. Hi. I'm doing great. I'm so thankful for this program. I'm thankful to be talking to you today, Mike. And my sugar addiction journey goes back to my childhood. I also have addiction that runs in my family and in my own self and my own person. So I got clear of alcohol in 2001. So I have over 20 years of sobriety from alcohol. And I've been struggling with sugar addiction my whole life and never recognized it as an addiction.
Mhm.
And I tried, all the things, the intuitive eating or various diets or various 30-day detoxes or 7-day detoxes or what, like just over 20 years, I've kind of gone through this up and down cycle.
Yeah.
And about 15 years ago, I found my passion for triathlon. And that was kind of as a result of after I got sober, I had a jewelry making hobby, which I was really like obsessive compulsive about making handmade beaded jewelry. And then I started gaining weight, and then I was like, okay, I need to exercise. So when I started exercising, then I became like obsessed with exercise. Something about this addiction kind
Yeah,
of
that addiction thing.
aspect of what's running on in my life. And so like once I got a taste of certain exercise, I was like, oh, I want more of that. So it was like I would and my passion is actually ultra cycling. So I bicycle for like 400, 500 miles or, 24 hours or 38 hours or
Wow.
most recently was a 600K thing. I'm training for a 1200K thing. So these are like up to 800 miles kind of things.
Wow.
And I go to continuously day and night, but all that.
Right.
So how did that happen? I would started playing with triathlon. I found out that I could go longer distances. I became fascinated with really testing my body and what was possible. And at the same time, I was overeating. And so I was kind of an over exerciser, overeater. And I would exercise really hard so that I could eat more sugar. So it would, when I started doing some of my little bit longer races, so my first Olympic distance triathlon, when it was like a 3-hour total time event, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to eat a pie when I finish. Like my reward is going to be
A whole
something like major. And it just got worse and worse. And I have actually run 100 miles, and my reward after I ran 100 miles was a dozen cupcakes and a bin full of oatmeal raisin cookies, and I would smear them with frosting. And I'm sorry to say all these things because I know these foods can be triggering for people, but that was my reality. Like I wanted, needed, could eat that much sweet. Nothing would turn off in my brain. And there was this justification of, well, I just did all this exercise and now I can have it because it's not going to hurt me.
right.
What I know now is that's not true at all. And what I learned in the program. So I joined the Quit Sugar Challenge out of just desperation after 20 years of struggling and watching the weight go up and down and being in a definite like low, the lowest point ever, thinking it must be my hormones. I'll turn 50 in 5 days, 50
Oh,
years old. So I was like, it must be my hormones. It must be my autoimmune disease. It must be something medically must be wrong with me that I can't exercise off the weight anymore is what happened. That's what happened for me in June when I finally was like, I've got to find a solution. And that's when I actually Googled sugar addiction and became introduced to the idea of an addiction recovery model
mm,
for sugar detox and for relating it to an actual addiction instead of just me thinking that it was a problem with my willpower. Because like you said, I can do lots of things. Like I was confident in my career. I became a vice president, executive level of an oil company. In my sports life, I've run 100 miles. I've done 6 Ultraman races, which is 3 days and 320 miles of swimming, biking, and running.
Wow.
I've now done these ultra cycling events where I'm going for 35, 38 hours. So it's not, it shouldn't be a willpower problem for me. Like I shoulding myself, right? I should be able to get off sugar, and I never could
Right.
because I was just so stuck on it being, I've got to like white knuckle my way through this. I've got to be strong enough. And so what I learned is it's not about being strong enough. What I learned is I have a problem in my brain. I have a problem in my body. I have a problem with the way my brain and my body handle sugar that's different from other people.
Right.
And that was the thing that I never realized before this program, that there is a difference between sugar addicts, harmful users, and our normies, you know, that there can be this, that there can be these different types of people, that we're all not all the same in our wiring
Yeah.
for how our body and our brain process and handle the sugar.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
so in the recovery, it's just been amazing. So for the past, it's going on 16 months for me, so over a year and a half. From the Quit Sugar Summits, I learned so much about sugar in the brain. What I became most fascinated with immediately was the Alzheimer's connection.
Mhm.
And that became a huge part of my why. So my beginning why was I need to lose weight. And then my middle, my second
So
why.
you were doing all this exercise and you still couldn't get some weight off.
Yeah,
Sign.
I even, you know, signed up with a personal trainer at the gym so I could be accountable to the personal trainer, and show them what I was eating. I signed up for like an online weight loss challenge with my friends so I could be accountable to having to report the numbers on the scale. And
Yeah.
what happened to me in that time frame was I was still binge eating healthy food. So borderline foods for us now.
Yeah.
Fruit, nut butter, protein powder, and grains. Like I was binge eating that combination of foods.
Okay.
So even though I was,
Wow.
hitting the gym with a personal trainer, training for triathlon, doing all the things, I was like, just like my base weight was just hovering within a 5-pound range, 20 pounds over where I am today.
Wow.
So for me, when in the first 30 days, I lost 20 pounds. That was part of my experience, but I was also exercising a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But also feeling good in my body. So it took about at least 17 days to a month before I started to feel good in my body. So I had to pull back from all of that over exercising and assess, why am I really doing it? And do I get joy from it? And how much joy do I really need? Do I need 38 hours of exercise to get the joy? But like I said, I'm fascinated with like the whole body, the experiment of what are we capable of in mind and in body. So I think that continues to drive why I continue to do this crazy long distance ultra stuff. And I also don't feel that it's connected to, food anymore.
Right.
Like I really, really do it for, I think, reasons that are fulfilling and satisfying to me.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's just that you were doing that exercise and still 20 pounds came off in no time, right after you gave up everything.
It was, and actually what it really, really, really came down to was flour, I think, because I've given up sugar before,
Right.
and fruit. So reducing all the fructose.
Yeah.
For
Nice.
me. So I think the fructose and the flour were the differentiators for me in the program.
Right. So you lead one of our meetings as a coach, I think 2 actually. Did you find the 2 meetings a day useful?
Yes, absolutely. It was that was a crucial part of my journey, the meetings. Again, getting back to being able to relate to others and know that I'm not alone in this challenge, that, reading the stories of people, but especially hearing and seeing people who share the same experience is what gave me the, not that I wouldn't say the confidence, but the encouragement and the support and the comfort, gave me the comfort of knowing that I wasn't alone in this addiction, that other people are also accepting sugar as an addiction. And what I thought were only my dark, bad habits of how I would go after the white stuff.
Right.
Not just my other people shared those struggles as well. And they're not like, it doesn't have to be dark bad habit. Like there's just a struggle, and the struggle is real, as they say.
There you go.
As they say.
There it is, gang. The struggle is real. You're not alone. Ingrid, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And best of luck in all your next races.
My pleasure, Mike. Yeah. So yeah, my 2 meetings are Friday and Saturday for now. That could always change, but I'm so happy to host them. And I love everybody that comes into the meetings. Everyone is welcome wherever they are in the journey. And yeah, there's a lot of support and encouragement and love there.
Nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Aloha.
Bye for now. Aloha. She's in Hawaii, by the way, gang. Take care.